Hi, I'm Mo Williams, NBA professional basketball player. I'm here joined today with my friend, Jordy. Today we'll be talking about defense. My pro tip would be about defense today. It's going to be different areas we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about closing out to the basketball, and we're going to talk about which way to send a guy. Got to give him one way. Obviously, we're going to talk about the different kind of basketball players that we'll be closing out to. It can be a shooter, what we call a neutral basketball player that can do a little bit of both, and we're going to talk about a non-shooter and how to close out to those guys also. So we're going to start off with demonstrating. I'm going to take the ball. Jordy's going to be our offensive player, and obviously it's going to be a drill that you're going to see. If you haven't already seen, you're going to throw the ball to the guy, and when you throw it to him, you're going to close out to him. And when we close out, our first mind is we don't want to. This is the wrong way to do it. When you come in, you don't want to just run to him. He's just going to go by you. Your first object is you're going to hear it. Trust me. You're going to hear it all your life of basketball. Chop your feet. Chop your feet. My feet is going to be chopping. My feet is going to be chopping. Now, I'm going to play him as a shooter. I'm going to give you three scenarios. I'm going to play him as a shooter. And this is the way you play a shooter. When that ball is swung to a shooter, when you close out, I'm chopping. But when I close out, I'm closing to his high side, and I'm getting into him. I'm staying, my chest is forward. I'm not here for him to go, even though he's a shooter, and I'm not here. I'm still able to get into him. I'm taking the shot away, and at that time, if he go, I'm still with him. And let's say giving him one way. I don't want to close straight here because he got the option to do what? Go that way and come back, and he got the option to go that way. Doesn't matter which way you want to send him, which way your coach wants you to send him, and which way you prefer to send him. Doesn't matter. You want to get into him and make him put it on the floor, what we call running a guy off the line, because we know he's a good shooter. Secondly, this is just the proper way to play a player. Even if he's a shooter or non-shooter, if you just want to just play normal defense, normal closeout, when you throw it, when you're closing out, you're chopping your steps, and you hear. You stick your arm out, you should be able to touch his chest. That's the distance. You don't want to be here because your arm bent. You're too close. You don't want to be that far, you're too far off. You can just raise up and shoot. You can't get to it. You want to be right here, because the reason you want to be right here, try to shoot. You see that? You're close enough to get a hand on the ball. And if he shoot, you're close enough to get a hand up. It's two things. If I'm too far off, I can't get the ball and I can't get a hand up. That's first of all. And I'm too far off, he just got too much room. He can see too much behind you. He can make plays, and you're not, basically, you're in no man's land is what we call it. Now, third one, and this is all on personnel. You know, you're playing a team and he's not a good shooter. You know, we're going to say close out short. When we mean close out short, when we throw the ball, we're going to choppy, because the reason we're choppy, because we want to be light on our feet and we want to be quick on our feet. That gives us the opportunity to react. If you come out flat-footed, oh, it's too late. He's gone. So when he catch that ball, and you know he's a non-shooter, but you know one thing he couldn't do is drive. So you want to be especially on your feet to be able to cut him off. Now, those three things that we talked about on the defensive end. Closing out hot, closing out normal with a hand up. Right here, if you straight arm, and you should be able to touch your opponent's chest. And the reason is you're going to be able to swipe down on it, and you'll be able to get a hand up. You're close enough. You don't want to be too far. Third one is playing a non-shooter and the close out. And you got to be able to do those things to be a good defender. And the thing that's about defense is different kind of ways to play guys. Different personnel, different systems you'll play in, different coaches require different areas. Some coaches want to send guys middle. Some coaches want to send guys baseline. So you want to know your personnel and know the proper way to close out. If I'm playing for a coach that says no middle, my mind, when I close out, I'm choppy, but this foot is always going to be on the high side, but not too high. Not too high. And we say no middle, we're going to be here. Matter of fact, I want him to go that way. I'm giving him in his mind, you want to go that way. And you don't want him to blow by. We call that a blow by. Come back. We want to send him to the baseline. That is my goal, to send him straight line drive that way. Now, come back. When we say no middle, we mean no middle. If he tries to go middle, I'm cutting him off right here. He can't go anywhere but in my chest. In my chest. And it's vice versa, going baseline. If I come here and I don't want him to go baseline, I'm going to get on this side and he got to go through my chest. And I'm making him go straight this way. He can't go down the middle, no blow-bys, straight down the middle. All right? And you get those keys down on defense, you will be a good defensive player on any level that you want to play basketball on. So this is my pro tips today. I am Mo Williams, joined by my good friend Jordy. Thank you.